Hello, welcome back. It's so good to see you. So, today we're going to be talking about what I've been watching for the month of January. And I think, let me just make sure. Yeah, every single thing on this list is amazing. I don't think I have any bad reviews at all. So, I'm excited to talk about what I've been watching. As usual, I have my notes over here. So that I don't forget what I'm talking about. And if you see me squinting, it's because my eyes are super messed up today. They are just shaking like crazy, so it's really hard for me to focus. So just ignore that. Anyway, okay, let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing that I want to talk to you about is a documentary. Yeah, it was like one of the most jaw-dropping documentaries I've seen in a while. It is called The Secrets We Bury, and it's on HBO Max. Now, I think this just came out. I'm not sure, but Rotten Tomatoes score is blank. Audience score is blank. How can it not have a score? I don't know. I thought it was pretty amazing. It is a true crime documentary. I'm just going to read the little description. It says, it follows a sibling's quest to solve their father's mysterious disappearance nearly 60 years ago. This documentary is so... I didn't even know what I was getting into. I was just bored one day and I was like, oh, there's a new documentary. I love watching documentaries. But this one was very dark, and it has all these twists and turns that you don't see coming. It's like unpredictable. So it's just about these siblings. I think it's like 4 brothers and 1 sister, maybe 2 sisters. I don't know. And when they were little, their father just left, or that's what they thought happened. And then their mother started dating this other guy and then married him. And for a long time, the younger kids thought that this man was their dad. And then they found out as they got older, he's not your dad. Your dad left. And anytime that they asked questions about their dad, it would just be like, I don't know. And it was real mysterious. And their mom didn't ever want to leave the house or anything like that. And she fell on hard times. And one of her sons was like, don't worry about it. I'm working now. I can buy the house from you and you can just live in it forever. And, you don't have to worry about bills or anything like that. And so she was really happy about that, because she thought she was going to lose the house, and the house was very important to her. But then the mom, I guess she got older, and it started to get to be that time where she was going to be passing on, and the son was just like, you're about to die, Mom. Can you please tell me something about my dad? Anything. And this woman kind of sat up out of bed, winked at her son, and then died. And it's like, what? So that made him more curious. And so I think his sister went to a psychic. I know a lot of people don't believe in psychics or mediums or anything like that, but she wanted to try and make contact with her mom or whatever, and so the brother went with her, and his sister got the reading and stuff, and the psychic was telling them stuff about their mom and something that was going to be happening with the daughters. She was going to get pregnant, and this and this and this was going to happen. And then the psychic lady asked the man, she was like, did you enjoy the reading? And he was like, no, I didn't. want to hear about this or that. I want to hear about my dad. And the psychic lady was like, well, we normally don't bring up the M word unless the client says something about it. And he's like, what do you mean M word? Murder. And he's like, what? And the psychic tells him that his dad was murdered by a man named Richard, and he's actually in their basement. And he was like, what the hell? Because guess what the name of their stepfather is? Richard. Yeah. So that's as far as I'm going to go with telling you the description, because it gets way more twisted, way more dark, and it's like, I'm shocked by this documentary. It is insane. So yeah, I highly recommend that documentary, because it's like, I didn't know where it was going. Like, I had no idea. No idea. It was really, really good though. Okay, the next thing that I watched was recommended to me by a friend. This is, I'm going to try and pronounce it right. I don't know. Pluribus on Apple TV. Pluribus. I don't know if that's how you say that word. Rotten Tomatoes score gave it a 98%. Audience score gave it a 66%. Those are huge differences. What? It stars Rhea Seehorn and Carolina Wydra. I don't know. Okay. The actual description of the show says this: the most miserable person on earth must save the world from happiness. I mean, I guess that's an accurate description, but it's like, is it? I don't know. I really enjoyed the show, and as of this recording, it has not been signed for a second season. So everybody, please go watch it. Please go watch it. Give it the thumbs up or the double thumbs up or whatever. I don't know if you can like stuff on Apple TV. I don't know. But just go watch it, because I want a season 2. I need a season 2. Okay, so it starts out where like these, I had to rewatch the beginning a few times, because I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something? It starts out with like these researchers having these satellites move around and stuff, and I don't know if there was like, I think it was like a signal or something from space. I don't know. And I don't know if they communicated back with it, or I don't know. The beginning part was kind of confusing for me. But it's about I don't want to say aliens, because it's not about aliens. I think that they it's almost like an alien virus. It's very confusing, and I don't know how to describe this. But this alien virus or something comes to Earth, and the scientists that are working with it, they get infected, and then it makes contact through like touch or saliva or something. I don't really understand how any of it works, but everybody in the entire world gets like taken over by these alien virus thing. I don't know. And they all become one, and not like morph together into like one thing, but it's like they have, like, if something happens to me, somebody on the other side of the world will know. They will just know, because they are all one now. They all know what each other's thinking. They know everything. I it's really hard to explain. Okay. But there are some people and I'm talking like maybe 11 or 15 or something like that, that this virus thing does not affect. And to them, the normal people, it it looks like they're being controlled because they no longer have, like, I don't want to say free will, but like they're not there anymore. They're not. This is too hard to explain. I don't know. But so there's this woman, and she sees this thing happening, and it happens to her wife or girlfriend or something. I don't know. Anyway, her wife or girlfriend dies and stuff, but like everybody that she comes in contact with, it's almost like they're robotic. They know everything, and like, I don't know, it's so confusing, and I feel like if I just keep talking about it, I won't make it make sense. You just have to see it. I know I'm giving a terrible, terrible description of this show, but something's not right. Something's not right. And this woman is like, I don't want this. I want everybody to go back to being who they are, individuals and stuff like that. The show is very unpredictable because it's like, what the hell is going on here? And I think the person who made the show also made like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I think it's the same person. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that there. It's amazing. It's fantastic, and it's like, I need more. And it's one of those shows where it just cuts off like right in the middle of the scene, and I hate that. That's one thing I don't like about the show. Because if not enough people watch it or give it good reviews, it's not going to get a season 2, and I need a season 2. I need it. It kind of reminds me of like The Last Man on Earth or something. It kind of reminds me of that, except it's different. I don't know. I'm just going to stop talking about it because there's no way for me to describe this show for you, except it's amazing and you need to watch it to understand. Okay. The next thing that I watched was a movie in the theater. Me and Emma went to the theater to watch The Housemaid. Rotten Tomato score gave it a 72%. Audience score gave it a 92%. I don't know why it got a 72. I don't know. But it stars Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. I don't know how you say her name. Me and Emma, we had to go see this movie because we both read the book, The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. If you know me, you know I love Frida McFadden. All her books are amazing. So we had to see this movie because the book was so good, So what is it about? It's like there's this lady, she's basically homeless because she just got out of prison, and so she's an ex-con. They don't tell you why she was in prison in the movie. I feel like there may be, because the books, there's like 3 Housemaid books, so maybe it's gonna be like what do they call that, where there's multiple movies? I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's gonna be like that. But this ex-con is trying to turn her life around, and she has to have a job. I think she quit her original job or something. I don't know. But she applies for this housemaid. It's a live-in housemaid position. And she doesn't think she's going to get it. But obviously she does, And everything seems perfect. Like, she's looking around this house like, are you sure you need my help? Because it's like, it's spotless, it's clean, there's like food, it's like everything seems like this is going to be a super easy job, But then when she moves in, her room is up in like the attic area, you know. When she moves in, like right off the bat, the perfect nice lady that she met before is not so perfect and nice anymore, and she actually seems kind of crazy. And she like snaps at her, and I don't know, she just feels uncomfortable, and she almost gets fired like so many times. It's just, she's looking, the lady that hires her is just looking crazy. And she's the family that she works for, there's a wife, a husband, and a little girl. And the little girl is kind of like a nightmare, you know. She's more in the book, she's more of a brat. It didn't come across that way in the movie, but I don't know. Anyway, and then so this girl, the housemaid, is like, how is this man, the husband, married to this psycho? You know, like, and she starts feeling for the husband, and then she's like, oh no, because she's kind of got a crush on the husband, and she's like, no, 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 no. Well, if you read the book, you know what happens, okay? Stuff. And then this is also like a very dark and twisted type of movie. I knew where it was going. Emma knew where it was going because we read the book, and the movie is very spot on with the book, which I actually really liked. It was very accurate. There were a few little minor details that didn't happen. There was quite a bit that didn't happen. Actually, now that I'm thinking back to the book, because the whole gardener situation, I don't know. Anyway, it was good. It was good, and I liked that it was accurate to the book. I think I know why I got a lower rating. I think if you didn't read the book, you wouldn't understand what was really going on, especially because they cut out the whole gardener part. Like, what? Anyway, but it's a good movie, but maybe read the book before you watch the movie, so that you're not like, I don't know if you should read the book before the movie. I don't know, but we liked it. Would I watch it again? Probably not, just because I've read the book and I've seen the movie, so it's like, why watch it again, you know? Now, if they come out with a Housemaid 2 or Housemaid 3, I'm going to watch those for sure. So yeah, I guess I'd recommend it because it was good. I think I'd recommend the book more though. Okay, the next thing that I watched was a movie on Hulu, and it is called Locked. You know why I watched this movie. It's Bill Skarsgård, one of my husbands. I love Bill Skarsgård. It also stars Anthony Hopkins. Amazing actor. I don't like the score, and I don't understand what these scores are about. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 63. Audience gave it a 72. Like, what? I'm so confused. And I tried to like take myself away from the fact that it's Bill Skarsgård, because I think that everything that he's ever been in is amazing. And Anthony Hopkins, they are both. Bill Skarsgård and Anthony Hopkins are fantastic actors. Amazing. So, what's it about? Well, Bill Skarsgård, it starts out at the beginning, he's kind of like, I don't want to say loser, but he's going through like a rough time. He has, I don't know if it's like an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife or whatever, but he's got an ex and he has a kid with her. And he's kind of a deadbeat dad. He doesn't show up for his kid the way that he should, and he doesn't really have a job, and he's constantly on the phone, like asking people for help, money, and everybody hangs up on him, which I felt really bad for him in that situation. But he's down on his luck, and he's kind of a loser, and I don't like that. I don't like saying that about someone, but he put himself in that situation, so he needs money to fix his car, and he's like, how do I get money? How do I get money? So he's like walking around. I don't know if it's New York or like where he's at. I don't know. It's a city, and he's trying all these handles to a door, and he sees this like crazy, ridiculous, beautiful vehicle, and he's like, I'm gonna walk up to it, because he's like, I can steal stuff out of this car, right? The door is unlocked, and he's like, hell yeah. So he opens it up, closes the door, starts rifling through things, and he doesn't see anything, so he tries to get out of the car, but he can't. He ends up being trapped in this vehicle, and then the phone in the car, like, there's not a phone in the car, but you know how you can like get Bluetooth through the whatever, there's someone calling the car, so eventually he picks up, and it's Anthony Hopkins, and Bill Skarsgård is in Anthony Hopkins' car, and Anthony Hopkins is very psycho and crazy and angry, because I think his vehicle has been broken into at least 12 times within the last year, and he's done with that. So he created basically a death trap vehicle. And yeah, I don't know. It says that like Anthony Hopkins is, he set up this deadly trap to be kind of like a vigilante who delivers twisted justice, I guess. I don't know. It sounds stupid. I know. It sounds so dumb. Like, okay, he gets trapped in this car and he can't get out. Like, ooh, so scary, right? Like, just break a window. Or, no. These windows are like a bulletproof, shatterproof. Like, you can't break out, because Bill Skarsgård tries. He really tries. And he's like trapped in this car for days and days, and like I think he has a gun, and he tries to shoot the window out, and it's bulletproof, so it ricochets on all the other walls or windows or whatever, and it ends up actually shooting himself by accident. And so he's like bleeding out, and he's like on the phone with this crazy vigilante guy, and is like, I'm bleeding out, you call police or ambulance, I don't care, I'll tell them I broke into your car, whatever. No. Anthony Hopkins waits for him to pass out, and then fixes him up, I guess, and Bill Skarsgård wakes back up, and he's all of a sudden all better, I mean, he's in pain or whatever, but anyway, I know it sounds stupid. It's not, though. It's so good. It was like crazy intense. There were moments that I was like literally what is that, squeaming? I don't know. I was just like, oh, like, oh my gosh. And I was yelling at the TV, and I know, but that's how intense it was. It's like, who am I yelling at? They can't hear me. But it was so intense. I think that this movie was fantastic, and the acting, oh my god, is so good. So what are these crap reviews about? Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Why didn't it get like way better reviews? It was so good. It was so good. And I've told everybody about it. I'm like, you've got to see this movie. You've got to. It's would I be able to watch it again? No, probably not, because you know how it's going to end. You know all the things that are coming up, but I would like to watch it with someone so that I could see their reactions. You know what I mean? I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Okay, this next thing that I watched is a limited series on Paramount Plus, and it is called Girl Taken. Now, this just released in 2026, but I don't know if they released it episode by episode or if they just released it all at once in one big chunk, because when I found it, it was all of the episodes. I think there's like 8 episodes. Anyway, Girl Taken, Rotten Tomatoes score gave it an 80. Audience score gave it nothing. There's no score as of this recording, so maybe there's a score now. I don't know. But it stars Alfie Allen. He's the guy from Game of Thrones. I can't remember his name in Game of Thrones, but that's how I know him. And then it stars Tallulah and Delphi Evans. They're twins. What is this show about? Well, it's about how these twins, they're in high school, and their life is completely shattered when one of the twins gets kidnapped and basically abducted and held by a beloved, like well-known, well-liked English teacher, which is Alfie Allen. He's the English teacher. So yeah, this, like, I was watching and I was like, holy crap, is this like a true is this a true thing? It's not, but man, it sure does feel like it could be. But it's intense. So you get 2 sides of the story. So you get, I don't remember, we'll say twin 1 and twin 2. Twin 1 absolutely loves this. What is he? I feel like maybe he's a history teacher or something. I don't know. Maybe an English teacher. She loves him. He helps her get into college and stuff, and I think he's a bit obsessed with her though, because he starts to follow her in his vehicle, and you're like, what the hell is going on here, guy? And twin number 2 is completely different from twin 1. You know, she's just like, whatever, she hangs out with her friends, she does drugs, like, you know, she's not thinking about the future. Well, the 2 twins, like, get into an argument, and twin number 2 walks off. Well, the teacher was following twin number 1. I don't know if he got them confused or what, but he sees twin number 2 thinking it's twin number 1, and he pulls the car over, and he was like, oh, I didn't realize it was you, twin number 2. I wish I knew the names. So he's like, can I give you a ride? You know, she's like, yeah, sure. So she gets a ride, and she's like, you can just turn here. And he totally ignores her, you know, and she's like, this is weird, you know, because he pulls off into this dirt road, and she's like, what the hell? And then he puts something over her. I don't know what it was, but she passes out, and she wakes up in a basement, chained to the floor, and there's like a little kitchen area, a bathroom, table, and a bed, like a whole little living area. And she's like, what the hell's going on, you know? And he basically breaks her and trains or conditioned her to act a certain way when he's around or whatever. And yeah, he just keeps her there in, I think it's this cottage or something. It's like his second home, where he tells his wife, because yes, he's married, he tells his wife he goes there to work on his writing, and he cannot be disturbed. because he's going to write the next great American novel or something like that, you know. And during this time that he takes her, everybody in town, the sister, the mom, everything, they're like, where did twin number 2 go, you know? And so they do searches and all this stuff. And guess who helps with the searches? The teacher. So he's like really involved, you know, and he becomes friends with the mom, and he's like, you know, you can call me anytime and blah blah blah, you know, like everybody loves this guy, but in reality he's a psychopath and also like pedophile because she's super super young. I don't know, I would say like maybe 9th or 10th grade, something like that, like I don't know. But anyway, but he's there for the mom and twin number 1 to help them, you know. Crazy this, it was so good though. I stayed up very late because I had to binge the whole thing. I had started it earlier in the day, and I couldn't go to bed. I could not go to bed until I finished this show. It was so intense and so good. There was no like, oh, I can pick it up tomorrow. No, I need to know what happens right now. It's so unpredictable, and there are twists. Like, you think you know where it's going, and then you're like, wait a minute, what? Like, so many shocking twists happen in this limited series that it was just like, whoever created this show, amazing, genius. Like, what? It was just very unpredictable. I had no idea where it was going. I really really liked it, but it's so messed up. It is so messed up. It's crazy. Okay, so the next thing that I watched was a movie on Hulu, and it is called A Complete Unknown. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 82%. Audience gave it 95%, and it stars Timothy Chalamet. I love Timothy Chalamet. He is slowly becoming, like, for me, one of the greats, okay? Because I love every movie that he's ever been in. Like, he's so good. And I don't know, I loved him in this movie. So this is like a true story, a biopic of Bob Dylan. Now, I didn't think I knew who Bob Dylan was. I only watched it because it had Timothy Chalamet in it, and I was like, he's in it, it's got to be good, right? But it turns out I do know who Bob Dylan is. It's just I didn't know that I knew who he was, you know, until this movie. But yeah, so it's just about like the rise of Bob Dylan. I don't know. It was just kind of like the beginning of his career, though. I kind of wish it would have continued on, because this is before he got married. I think because I went to Wikipedia to like look him up, you know, and I think he was married twice or whatever, and his wife is not even in this film, which either of his wives, you know, so this is very when he's very young, like, and just starting to rise in popularity, you know. I thought it was a great movie. But I really like biopics. I don't know why, I just do. But Timothy Chalamet actually sings as Bob Dylan, and he sounds very, very much like Bob Dylan. Like, I thought it was accurate, you know. And then, like, towards the end, you find out just how big of an impact Bob Dylan was in the world, not just music, but in the world, you know. And I think he was a folk singer, if that's right. I don't know, but he got a Nobel Prize for writing song lyrics and stuff. Like, I had no idea. Um, but anyway, I thought it was a good movie. I don't really want to say anything else about it because I don't want to give anything away. But it's interesting. If you like history and you like biopics and stuff like that, you're gonna like this, I think. But so everything that I watched, I loved it. I loved it. But if I were to recommend like anything out of here, Girl Taken, you've got to see this show. It's insane. And the documentary, The Secrets We Bury, like insane, crazy. But I liked everything that I watched this month. So any of these I recommend, but those two, Girl Taken and The Secrets We Bury, I recommend those the most. Amazing. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.